Let's continue to work on the petting zoo in the Elm Hill City Zoo by adding the walkthrough habitat for the sheep and goats. Today we'll build a typical barn for the Alpine Goats and the Hill Radnor Sheep from the newest barnyard animal pack. This will also be a walkthrough habitat where our guests will be able to pet and feed the animals. What can be more typical for the petting zoo? I really hope you guys will enjoy today's episode. Hello guys, this is Cesar Creates and welcome back to my channel. It is finally time for another Planet Zoo video and another episode of the Elm Hill City Zoo. I know that I have been gone for a while, but hey, I am back and I am back with another build for our petting zoo in the Elm Hill City Zoo. And today we'll be building a walkthrough habitat for both the Alpine Goats and the Hill Radnor Sheep. Most of the petting zoos that I have been to have at least one of the habitats that you can actually enter and touch the animals, pet them, feed them, and just, do some fun photos with them or anything. And this is what I wanted to create in here for our Elm Hill City Zoo. I knew that we need to have at least one habitat like this, and I feel like the Alpine Goats and the sheep are just perfect animals for the walkthrough habitat. I have been personally petting them during some of my zoo visits, so I just knew that it will make sense. Also, those two animals, I think that they work together in one habitat really nice, so that's why I really wanted to combine them together. In the last episode of the Elm Hill City Zoo, I know that it has been a while, we added the first habitat to our petting zoo that we started to build last time. It was for the Sussex chicken from the newest barnyard animal pack, and it was actually a small chicken coop, like a blue chicken coop, that you guys really liked, so thank you for that. In case you haven't seen the video, I will put the link down in the description and on the screen right now. And why I am reminding you about this, because I had so many requests of uploading it to the workshop, and if you go down into the description of this video, there will be a link, so from now on you can actually use it in your zoos. Just remember that it was built in sandbox mode. I am not building for the requirements for the animals in the franchise mode, so I don't know if it will work for the chickens. It is probably way too small, but if you like to have something, let's say pretty in your zoos, you are so welcome to use it in your own parks. In the last episode, I also sort of came up with the whole idea for our petting zoo. I wanted to have those really colorful small barns and different buildings in here. Those are often called children's zoos, so I wanted to make something very pleasant and colorful for the children that they would probably like. They would like to spend time here. Something very cheerful. So the first building was blue, and every other building in this area of the petting zoo will have different color. And as you guys can see, today we are building a red building, and it is maybe not like a super prominent red color. Last time we also created like a not very saturated blue building, so to match this style I also went for a bit like paler red, but in the end I really love this color. While building this, actually I wasn't convinced to this idea. Again, I had this with the chicken coop, I had this now. I just really don't like colors in real life. Like I like more like pale colors, like less saturated. So I am really coming out of my comfort zone in here, but I think that the final product looks amazing, so this is why I'm sticking to this idea. So today we are building like a typical barn. I took so many different inspirations from so many different places, like normal barns and the countrysides, some petting zoos, and also one zoo that I've recently visited, the Wrocław Zoo, that you could see on my Instagram. I did the whole tour there. I still need to sit and do the reel and the short for it, like to combine on the clips into a fun little video, but the life has been so crazy lately that I haven't got the time to do it, but I will definitely find some time, maybe next week, we will see. This barn is completely custom. I didn't use any of the on-grid pieces. It is just piece by piece this entire building, so it contains a lot of pieces. Both love it because it looks really unique, but also, you know, the Elm Hill City Zoo is getting larger and larger, and I should probably be remembering about this, but yeah, my crazy ideas sometimes get in the way, and yeah, I've used so many, probably thousands of pieces to build this, and I really need to remind myself that in the future this is probably not the wisest things to do. Although the performance in the zoo is quite good still, after removing most of the animals, the performance is really nice. It is not perfect, but when I will just stand in one place and unpause the game, you can barely see that it is lagging, so it is okay to do all the cinematic shots still, because I had a time when you could clearly see that, you know, all the animals were lagging and the cinematic shots were not too pleasant to watch, but still right now it is kind of okay. We will see what will happen in the future, because there is still quite a lot of animals that I want to add, especially that Planet Zoo confirmed that there will be at least one more DLC, so we will have more animals even to add, and they said something about the animal pack, so there will be a lot of new animals. I am wishing that it will be like fun favorites, like some of the most requested animals, such as for example the secretary bird or the mass ox, or I don't know, ocelot. There's so many animals that I can see in the comments. Oh, coati, yeah, coati is one that I see, I think, the most often, or maybe walrus as well. So I really wish that it was something like this. And what you guys would like to see for the next DLC, let me know down in the comments. I always like to hear your ideas for the DLCs. Everyone has different wishes, and this is what makes things interesting to me. So definitely, if you have some ideas about the new pack, drop them down below. I am talking about the new pack when this is my second build for the pack that just came out, the Barnyard Animal pack. I've been enjoying this pack a lot. Unfortunately, since the release of the pack, things were kind of like crazy for me, so that's why I wasn't too present in here on YouTube or anywhere in social media. I've been super sick, that's the first thing. So firstly, I had a crazy allergy, then I had a sinus infection, then I had a crazy cough that I couldn't even record. Like recording the showcase of the new DLC for Jurassic World Evolution 2, that by the way is so amazing. Like it was such a struggle because I had to pause the recording like every 3 to 4 seconds to just cough. So it took me so long, but I was able to do it in the end. I also had some business trips. I had also like a team building trip with the entire company. We went to the countryside for 2 days. I had some friends over for last weekend, so I also couldn't record. And on top of that, I also had like a little renovation at my flat, so I was renovating the bedroom. So it was a lot of things, a lot of different workers, people in the house. So it was also a struggle just to, you know, play the game or to do anything. I had to sleep on the couch. So yeah, a lot of things have been going on, but I'm sort of back on the track. I will definitely upload more in the future. So if you guys have been missing me, please bear with me, because I am almost fully back, because I have a holiday planned for the beginning of June, but I will try to pre-record something. I hope that I'll be able to do that. What you can expect on the channel in the near future is first of all my episode for the Unity Park from the Jurassic World Evolution 2. Then I will upload another episode of the Elm Hill City Zoo, where we'll be back to the reptile house and I'll be adding another reptile. And then I will be actually back to the Desert Adventure Park, where we'll be building something bigger and something that I probably will need some more time for, the gift shop, like a souvenir shop. So super exciting. I like building those things, but they always take some time. But just to let know all the people who were actually asking for the Desert Adventure Park episode, it will be out pretty soon. Before we'll go back to talking about the new barn, the new habitats and the goats and the sheep and everything, let me say hello to two new sponsors that decided to sponsor the habitats in the Elm Hill City Zoo. Thank you guys so much. So first of all, we have Mates, who decided to sponsor the Timber Wolf habitat. Here is your plaque. Thank you so much. And here is another sponsor, Dominic, who decided to sponsor the Amur Leopard habitat. I love those cats. Thank you so much, guys. This means the world to me and to the zoo, of course. And if any one of you would also like to become a sponsor of any habitat in the Elm Hill City Zoo, all you need to do is become a member of the channel and let me know down in the comment section under any of my videos what habitat you would like to sponsor. After that, in the next episode of the Elm Hill City Zoo, I will show you your plaque in the front of the habitat of your choice. Okay, but let's go back to talking about today's builds. So I wanted to build something that is really typical for both the petting zoos, but more specifically for petting zoos in city zoos, and also something that will just look like taken from the countryside, so like a barn or something. So first of all, the habitat will be walkthrough, so the guests will be able to feed the animals, or will be also able to walk in there, pet them, and so on, as I told you. The whole idea for the barn started with those shaded parts like in front of the building. I'm not really sure how they are called, like this extended roof, and there are those little stalls for the animals to just chill in, or for example, if they don't want to have contact with the guests anymore, they can just go in there, hide, or just lie on the beddings and so on. This sort of looks like a porch or anything, but I've seen this in both barns on the countrysides, but also petting zoos, so I wanted to recreate something like that. Then I thought about the color, so I wanted to make it red. I don't know why, but there's a lot of red barns, especially in the USA. Like, if you think like of the typical barn in the USA countryside, you probably see this like red and white sort of thing. So this is what I wanted to go for, but make it more like less saturated. To tie those two builds together, I mean our new barn and also the chicken coop, I decided to use the same wooden beams that I use for the chicken coop, like on the corners of the building, and also I used here for the corners, for the like outlining of the roof, and also for those whole supporting structure for the roof in the front. So this is something that just ties those two builds together so they all look cohesive. I also created my custom roof from those tiny little poles from the tropical pack, I think. It was quite a lot of work actually, and when I found out how many pieces I used for this roof, I was a bit like mad at myself, because it is more like I think 5,000 different pieces for just the roof of this building, but oh, come on, it looks nice in the end, so we'll stick to that. After being done with the general shape of the building, I also created like those tiny little fences for those outdoor stalls for the animals, where they can again go if they don't want to spend more time with the guests, or if they just need to be separated or anything. I also created like windows for both sides. This is something that I also saw in some petting zoos. So if the animal will decide to go into the barn, the guest can still have a look inside to look at the animal simply that is chilling in there. Just a nice way of, you know, having a peek inside of the barn like this. And after that, it was time to create like a actual fence for the entire walkthrough habitat. To make the fence, I used a lot of different wooden pieces, for example those smaller planks from the Twilight pack, but I also used the new posts for the fences from the new Barnyard Animal pack, but I combined them both, like both types, because I like how the one with the pointy end looks. I love this like pointy end from this fence, but I don't like the texture of the wood on this. Like, it is very like vivid. It is not like matching matching other pieces in the game, so I decided to cover the whole texture of it with the other type of the fence that has a really nice texture. I love it so much. So by combining this all together, I came up with this idea for the fence, and I really like how it looks. I also had to create like an entrance for the guests, and I decided to go for something like an airlock. So there's a double gate system, so the guests need to go into this small pen, like close the first door and open the second one to enter the habitat. This is just to prevent the goats and the sheep from escaping, especially the goats. I think that they can be a bit cheeky. They like to play, they like to climb on things. They are really intelligent animals, so you really need to be careful with those. In those airlocks, I also used the new hand sanitizers, a piece that in the game, a new piece that I really love. I love that the guests are actually able to use them. I haven't played too much with them. I don't know if the guests will use them without the actual walkthrough gate or not. The Elm Hill City Zoo is unfortunately closed to the public because of performance. There is no guests in here because when I had guests, it was really laggy, so I decided to, exclude the guests from my builds and from the zoo. So unfortunately, we won't be seeing any guests using the habitats, but there is a way of just making a habitat a walkthrough habitat without using the actual like walkthrough habitat doors. Even though we got a new one, it is still a bit big. You can just place the path that is going through the invisible fence, and the guests will just walk through everything that you put on the path, and the animals won't be able to escape. So this is something that I would use for this if the guests would be actually using it, but I am not sure if they would be, in such case, they will be using the hand sanitizers. As I told you, I haven't tested that. What I also wanted to build in here were the food dispensers, because this is also very common in petting zoos, that you have those special devices where you can place a coin or anything, and there's like a food coming off. You can take it to your hand or to the cup. Those are usually those small pellets for the animals to eat. And I wanted to create one using the hand sanitizers. I just thought that if I will, use tiny pieces, for example, of font and change the water or the liquid that you can see inside of them into something brown or something like more beige, this will look like a food dispenser. But unfortunately, you cannot recolor the hand sanitizers, so it looked sort of weird. Like you had one hand sanitizer with a blue liquid, and next to it was one with the brown liquid, so it didn't make any sense. And then I tried to create something of my own, but I couldn't find a way of doing it, and I found a perfect blueprint in the workshop that you will see in the cinematic shots. This is the one by very talented Haribo, who I am also collaborating on with on the Valby City Zoo, and I love this piece so much. And of course, I will put the link down in the description so you guys can use it in your own zoos if you like to. After that, it was time to fill in the habitat. The goats love to climb on different things. This is something that I observed. This is something that I saw in different petting zoo habitats, both online and also during my zoo visits. They always have something to climb on. They always have something to do because they are pretty active. They like to chase each other, they like to do different stuff. So I decided to build things like this pyramid of the tires that I saw in several inspiration photos. I also think I saw someone already doing this. I think it was Kiwi Place. So this is not an original idea, but yeah, I've seen so many habitats with that. So I also decided to recreate something like this. And actually, there's something that I forgot or I didn't know about more when I was doing my showcase of the pack and the free update. So I just didn't notice that we have those new tires right now as individually placed pieces. So I really wanted to use them here in this habitat to just play around with them. And this this is how this pyramid came to life. I also used the bigger tire for them to also climb on or just hide in. I built some climbing frames, like climbing things for them that I found online also as inspiration, and different logs that they can hop on. I'm not sure if the sheep will be using them. I don't think so, but for the goats, I know that it is important. Other than that, this habitat won't be very detailed. None of the petting zoo habitats that I saw are super impressive or detailed, especially the ones in the city zoos. Those are definitely more on the smaller side and not too detailed. There's just some dirt, some things for the animals to just climb on or to lay on or to lie under, and that's basically it. I know that this habitat is not too big. It rather looks small, but sometimes in those petting zoos the animals are just let out of the habitat so they can enjoy the bigger ground of the petting zoo. This is also something that I will do. The whole petting zoo will be just fenced around, so they will have a lot of places to roam around. There won't be a lot of different animals in this enclosure. I think that I decided to go for 4 goats and 3 sheep, so it won't be too overcrowded, but still maybe I could do it a bit bigger. I don't know, you guys tell me what you think about the size of this habitat. And this is all when it comes to the speed build part of the video. Let me meet you in a second for the cinematic shots. I am so happy to be back with another episode of the Elm Hill City Zoo. I really missed uploading those videos. Our zoo finally has a new habitat in the petting zoo, and I really love how it has turned out. I especially love the barn. I think that the color looks amazing and the whole design is better than I expected. I really love the models of the sheep and the goats from the newest barnyard animal pack. I think that they are totally beautiful. I especially love the piebald goats. That's why I decided to use them here in this habitat. Here you can see the double gates that the guests would use to enter the habitat, and here's also the window that they can walk up to have a sneak peek of the inside of the barn and the animals resting there. My favorite thing about those habitats are probably those outdoor stalls under the roof. I think that they look incredible, and I just love to see the animals using them. I also did the entire interior for this barn off camera. Here are some shots of it so you guys can see how it looks. It has some indoor stalls. It also has some shelves and different tools for the keepers. And I also really like all the climbing things for the goats. I think that this is a real goat playground, and I hope that they will enjoy this habitat. It is time to say my goodbyes, but there will be some more cinematic shots after them, so stay tuned to see the whole entire habitat. Okay, and this is all when it comes to this episode. I really hope you guys liked it. If you did, please consider to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video like this. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also leave me a nice comment. Tell me what you think about the habitat. If you'd like to support the channel a little bit extra and become a sponsor of one of the habitats in the Elm Hill City Zoo, click the join button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!